Welcome back. Yeah, Viva.
No, just by mistake.
Okay. So yeah, Prajakta, are you with it? Prajakta?
I'm listening to it. Actually, I am doing some kitchen work, so I am not communicating in between, but I am listening to it. So
You are
please give
doing
me
what?
some time.
You are doing what, ma'am?
I'm doing
Kitchen work.
Kitchen work.
Okay.
So I'm not
Okay.
fully.
Right.
Actually, I can see some.
But I'm listening to it, and I will join.
Right. Yeah. So somebody else want to speak? Ayushi and Shilpi, you both are unmute. Want to say something? Vimal?
One reflection that was coming, that the spectrum that each of the organisms have is the optimal spectrum for that existence.
Yes. That's the threshold. That's the threshold. You mentioned about threshold, that word. So that optimal aspect is applied for each organism, the spectrum.
But each one's threshold will be different, no? Each organism will have a different threshold of everything, whether it is pain, it is tiredness, it is pleasure, whatever it is.
Yes. But it is unique. It is unique, but it has a threshold whatsoever. Like you may work for 18 hours a day. Someone may work for 8 hours a day, or some particular work I'm talking about. So, but after 18 hours, one will get tired. After 8 hours, somebody may get tired. But the tiredness is very common threshold that happens to every organism.
And that threshold also is changing always.
Yes,
it is not constant.
Through endurance, it changes. Through mind's influence, it changes. And that changing is what that we are trying to explore. When it changes through the influence of mind. Right.
Kalyan sir.
Yes, ma'am.
कल्याण हाँ, तो ऐसे बोल सकते हैं क्या, मतलब अभी पता नहीं, हर एक के अलग अलग स्किल्स रहते हैं, तो मेरे स्किल्स में मैं काम करूंगी तो मुझे टायर्डनेस महसूस नहीं होगा, लेकिन वही वो चीज आप करने लगोगे तो आपको वो ही चीज में टायर्डनेस महसूस हो सकता है, ऐसे कुछ है?
एकदम पर हम जो एक्सप्लोर करने वाले हैं यहाँ वो है कि ये जो कोई टायर्डनेस फील नहीं कर रहा है किसी वजह से, जो एक्चुअली फील करना चाहिए था स्ट्रक्चर के मुताबिक, पर उसमें टायर्डनेस नहीं हो रहा है, उसका कारण क्या है वो भी हम एक्सप्लोर करेंगे। वो क्या कारण है? कोई टायर्ड फील करता ही नहीं, टायर्ड होता है बट फील करता नहीं। इसका फर्क समझ रहे हैं? आप अगर मिर्च खा रहे हैं तो आप टायर्ड हो रहे हैं, पर जब आप उसी मिर्च को किसी करी में मिक्स करके खा रहे हैं तो फिर अब टायर्ड नहीं हो रहा है ऐसा लग रहा है। इसका फर्क समझ रहे हैं क्या प्रजक्ता?
यस सर, यस सर।
यस, उसका एक्सप्लोर करेंगे। माया भी कुछ कह रही है?
तो yeah, Kalyan, I'm just thinking about this, two things in fact, that my mother used to literally like, I don't think she believed that she ever got tired. At the age of 80 also, we used to, I mean, we moved house and 12 baji raat tak she's opening cartons. I said, stop it now. I'm tired looking at you doing this work now. But she used to not, but she said, no, but I'm not tired. I want to finish this one more carton off, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, as growing up with her, even I have this thing that मुझे मेरा जो काम खत्म करना है, मैं जब तक वो पूरा नहीं करूंगी तब तक मैं tired नहीं होंगी. पर the same thing I'm thinking about now, that when I ran the marathon, not first, every half marathon, like 7 marathons I've run, but every marathon, at some point, I knew that I'm feeling bored, tired, whatever. But I tell myself that this is not the time to be bored. You still have 2 more kilometers to go or 3 more kilometers to go. So no point feeling tired.
Are you able to correlate with the chili example?
Yes.
So, and that's a toll that actually we keep on ignoring and neglecting.
True.
The impact of mind actually vanishes our sense of tiredness. Where we are structured to sense tiredness, that time we are not sensing tiredness, perhaps with the pride of not getting tired. Tiredness is not a weakness. Tiredness is very much natural.
Correct. And I agree with you, because also people around me will give me 2 more things to do. मैं भी कर लेगी, वो थकती नहीं है इतना जल्दी. And I feel, what the hell, just because I push myself to do
perhaps you enjoy that compliment.
No,
mentally.
I used
to. I don't know. I'm just questioning.
No, I used to, because I used to feel that मैं कुछ भी कर सकती हूँ. But now I'm very clear that even if I'm not physically feeling exhausted, I say that ये कल सुबह होएगा, अगर आपको करना है आप खुद कर लो. So I understand this in my life, that there is tiredness, and I don't have to push myself to exhaustion.
Yes, इसका एक की क्या है पता है? मतलब इसका तो कोई थंब रूल तो बना नहीं सकते हम लोग सभी के लिए जो अप्लाइड हो जाएगा. Sinjini, are you comfortable with Hindi?
Yes.
Okay. तो इसका तो थंब रूल नहीं बन सकता, बट जो हम देख सकते हैं, अगर कुछ काम करने से पहले क्यों ये कर रहे हैं इसका क्लैरिटी रहे, थोड़ा बहुत. पूरा क्लैरिटी तो हो नहीं सकता जब तक ना कर लिया जाए या देखता ही रहे. तो ये चीज फिर ना लिमिट कर देगी. अगर हम क्यों ये रैशनलिटी पे काम करते रहें, वही करेंगे जो रैशनल है, जो नेचुरल है, बाकी क्यों करेंगे? बाकी अननेचुरल चीज अगर क्यों करेंगे, ये क्वेश्चन अगर जारी रहा तो फिर शायद हम नेचुरल टायर्डनेस को समझ पाएंगे. तो मुद्दा ये है. यस, Vikrant, you want to say something?
No, what I want to ask, but that will be the agenda, right? It will be not agenda-less thing.
Questioning? You're saying questioning?
हम जो हम जो काम कर रहे हैं वो क्यों कर रहे हैं, kind of, if we pre-decide it.
Yes. तो वही, वो क्यों ना टोटल कंक्लूड नहीं होगा, बट कुछ तो समझ तो आए जो क्यों कर रहे हैं, कुछ तो समझ आए उसका. टोटल कंक्लूजन विल बी एन एजेंडा, बट बिना समझ के अगर कुछ कर रहे हैं, बिना समझ के अगर कुछ कर रहे हैं, लाइक ये अगर चिली वाला एग्जांपल ले ले, कि अगर मैं समोसा मेरे सामने रखा हुआ है और मैं समोसा खाने के लिए मुझे एक अंदर से लालच आ रही है, जिसको क्रेविंग कहते हैं, तो हम क्या करते हैं, अक्सर क्या करते हैं, कैसे ना खाएं इसको ढूंढते हैं। ये समोसा को देखेंगे नहीं तो फिर नहीं खाएंगे, समोसा का जिक्र नहीं होना चाहिए नहीं तो मुझे लालच आ जाएगा। तो हम तरीके ढूंढते रहते हैं जे कैसे मैं लालच को अवॉइड करता हूं। चलो, बट लालच क्यों आ रहा है इसको समझने के लिए और लालच क्या है ये समझने के लिए हम अगर ऐसा प्रश्न करें कि क्यों खाएं समोसा, इस तरह के मतलब दिस इज वन टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन दैट वी आर proposing here, but not this question applies for every scenario. But अगर इस ये जो मुद्दा था, इसमें क्यों खाएं, इसमें तो मिर्च है और मिर्च तो मुझे पसंद नहीं है, और इसमें गेहूं है, गेहूं भी तो मुझे पसंद नहीं है, तो फिर क्यों खाऊं। तो अगर मैं गहराई से देखूं, हर एक काम अगर गहराई से देखूं, ये कहां ले जा रही है, इसका दिशा क्या है, मैं कहीं बहक नहीं जा रही हूं ना, इस तरह का अगर समझ जारी रहे तो फिर एक्चुअल टायर्डनेस का एक्सपीरियंस हम समझ सकते हैं।
कल्याण सर,
यस,
हर इंसान का, everybody has a different structure also, right? Somebody may be very lean and, you know, has a lot of inherent energy in terms of movement, and another person may have energy located elsewhere in the mind, maybe has an inherent tendency to use the brain a lot or questioning a lot, but the body is not that you know, mobile all the time.
Yes,
I mean, that could also be true. No, every individual is designed differently, and therefore their threshold of tiredness would be different also.
Yes, yes, yes. So structurally also thresholds will be different, unique.
Yes.
And mentally also it is influenced differently, uniquely.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So now the tiredness basically is, so these are quite understandable, like we are structured to conserve energy, you know. When we see lift, we don't use staircase. That's a very inherent tendency of organism to conserve energy, not to waste energy unnecessary. And that is what is the tiredness that we understand. Everybody of us, we understand tiredness. We try to get shortcut. We search the location and the shortcut and opt the shortcut. So these are the inherent knack of conservation of energy. Now, if it is limited,
Kalyan, there was something coming on. Is it possible that the way we are saying that the tiredness, we tend to, a lot of times we may be suppressing the tiredness? Is it also possible that we stimulate the laziness, or?
Yes. Yes. That also can be possible. So mental imagery works both the way. Direct suppression of pain also happens, and stimulation of pleasure also happens. And both are the same thing. When we suppress pain, that is also stimulation of pleasure. Are you able to comprehend this? When we suppress pain, that time we are actually trying to stimulate pleasure.
Yes, I'm just trying to put it in the context of tiredness and laziness.
Yes, yes, yes. So laziness is also a tiredness. It's just different way of interpreting the same state. You know,
Whether
somebody.
it is physical or mental.
Yes.
Both. It could be not physical tiredness.
It can be,
but
as the tiredness can be influenced, and one may experience a more enthusiasm. Similar way, the laziness also is attributed to the actual tiredness of the individual. So if one is mentally considering lazy, considering himself tired before the actual tiredness, that also is a toll on the overall energy and making the individual actually tired. So laziness cannot be faked. It is our interpretation that if somebody is lazy, then we just scold that individual as lazy, but do not try and understand actually that individual is suffering a depletion of energy, suffering from depletion of energy.
So when it's a suppression of pain and therefore leading to avoidance of a task, which may be seen as laziness by the person himself too,
Yes.
then even that is a toll on energy.
Yes. Ultimately, the energy gets impacted. And no scolding can reverse the laziness. Only the individual who is experiencing the laziness, if realizes that it is a fake thing coming from the psyche, then only it can be actually reversed and the energy can be released.
Yeah.
in fact, it can be like a scolding can actually deplete more energy of the individual. Because
there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Scolding can be also proposes that may not be also.
May not be, but
it is not. It is not. Scolding always depletes, enhance the depletion of energy.
In the other person and self and the person
and the individual who is scolding.
Scolding both.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It is like thrashing, you know, thrashing. What is the Hindi of thrashing? In Bangla, it is called bhatsona. So thrashing, latarna.
What?
लतारना लतारने से कुछ बदलता नहीं है, बदलने का अभिनय होता है। किसी को लतारने से वो बदल जाएगा, ये भ्रम है।
So we are saying that if a person is looking lazy, even if the person is not physically lazy, he or she is mentally drained, and that is bringing
ultimately the energy level is low for that individual, whatever we call lazy or tired, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Kalyan.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking about this, that there are times when I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I won't say that I'm tired, but it'll come out as irritation. You know, you ask me something and I'll say, "Main abhi nahi, tum mujhe abhi mat batao," or "Don't tell me to do this right now." You know, it'll come out as a irritated, in an irritated tone. So oftentimes, I might be suppressing my fact that I'm tired and just keep going on and finish that one particular job that is on hand.
Yeah.
Even though it means that मैं थकी हूँ लेकिन मैं खत्म कर रही हूँ इसको, but there is tiredness. And it comes out as a upset or irritation.
क्योंकि एक ही फ्रेमवर्क में काम करती है। अभी हम लोग ये फ्रेमवर्क को समझेंगे थोड़ा और डीपली, क्योंकि जब हम थकावट के बावजूद काम करते हैं, वो काम करते हैं कोई एक गोल अचीव करने के लिए। यानी कि माइंड से ऑपरेट हो रहे हैं, और थकावट जो फिजिकल रिस्पॉन्स है उसको हम इग्नोर कर रहे हैं, सप्रेस कर रहे हैं, और यही एक्चुअली। हाँ जी प्रोजेक्टा।
कल्याण सर, मुझे यहाँ पे क्या पूछना है, मतलब अभी आपने माइंड और फिजिकल ऐसे बोला, तो कभी कभी फिजिकल टायर्डनेस होता है लेकिन माइंड से टायर्डनेस
आपका आवाज कट रहा है थोड़ा प्रोजेक्टा, आपका
तो
सिग्नल
तभी
एक बार।
कौन से माइंड या बॉडी, मतलब 1 मिनट
प्रोजेक्टा
सर, अभी आ रहा है क्या प्रॉब्लम?
थोड़ा कट के आ
हेलो,
रहा, कट के आ रहा, थोड़ा क्लियर नहीं आ रहा आपका जो भी बोल रहे हो आप।
ठीक है, मैं थोड़ी देर के बाद पूछती हूँ आपको।
ठीक है, ठीक है।
ओके।
So, yeah, so continuing, relating to the tiredness, we understand that the tiredness happens because the energy of the individual is limited. And
I think what Prajakta was saying was that sometimes one doesn't feel tired physically. No, one feels tired physically, but from the mind, one is either stimulated or feeling the energy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it can be like physical tiredness from the body and mental tiredness, like the psychological.
Yeah. So I think like
That's it.
Mayavi was also
Yes,
referring
yes.
to the similar thing.
Yeah.
And this is not only with the human beings. I think that this can also be with the other species, right?
That's an assumption. We don't
That's
know
an
that.
assumption.
We don't know
Okay,
that.
we don't.
We don't know that.
Oh,
That's a conclusion.
okay. So so what should we listen to then in terms of tiredness if we are considering ourselves, our body or our mind?
It's always the body which is the natural thing. The mind is unnatural. Because if it is a conditioned mind, then it is absolutely absurd. Whatsoever comes from the mind is absurd.
In our case, I think it's for each one of us, it is always a conditioned mind, right?
Yes. Let's start with that. Yes. So that means something coming from the mind whatsoever is absurd, is unnatural. If we listen to the mind, then we deplete our energy, and depletion of energy will impact the overall existence.
Okay.
So going forward, this is very much evident with all these discussions that the energy that we have is limited. If the energy is limited, anything, if it is limited, then it needs conservation, right? If you have a budgetary allocation, you just understand that you have a limit budget for your house, so you need to conserve it. If you go haywire, like spending money on something which is which was not thought of, like not at all planned, or something not exactly planned, what we understood as far as the agenda is concerned, but something which is limited needs to be conserved. This is a kind of relatable aspect. Are we with us, like with the flow on this aspect? That the conservation is very important if it is limited. So now, what is energy? Energy basically is capacity to work. Capacity to work, and work could be blinking of eyes also, and researching on rockets also. So for everything, we need energy. Now we'll go to the illustration of domains of existence. Domains of existence, so that the kind of things that we are discussing so far could be illustrated in front of us, and for its further comprehension and exploration together. So every existence can be categorized into 3 domains of existence: P1, P2, P3. P1, P2, P3. Physical, physiological, and psychological. Physical is the first domain where an existence confronts the external world. Physical domain is the domain where the confrontation is initiated. So for human being, we actually receive through our 5 sensory doors. 5 sensory doors, which are eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, through which we receive light, sound, smell, taste, and touch. Light, sound, smell, taste, and touch. So first confrontation with the external world is through these sensory organs. So the physical domain is also termed as senses. Senses. Sense. Sensory domain. Now, whenever we interact with the external world, there will be change in the physiology. That's the chemical domain of the existence. There is a change in the chemistry of the existence, and that chemical domain is called physiological domain. Physiological domain, through which the organism gets an indication to continue with the ingestion or not. Whatever the inputs that is coming from the external world, whether to continue with it or not, that decision comes from the sensation. This domain is also called sensation. So first was senses, then it is sensation. So that actually drives the life, because ingestion is very important for the continuation of life. If ingestion is stopped, then the life is going to stop. So ingestion is important, but what to ingest, that particular thing is actually driven by the sensation domain. And now comes to the neurological domain, which is the psychological domain, which actually keeps on seeing the sensation. It doesn't see anything else. It sees the sensation. It sees the sensation. Whatever the sensation is indicating, it is interpreting that and finding. So suppose a fire is, so we'll go ahead with that example also, the fire example, touching fire, sensing the heat of the fire, then understanding, bringing an awareness that the fire is hotter. So perceiving or understanding the sensation is neurological domain, that is also called psychological domain. So P1, P2, P3. Any question here? For those who are actually finding it for the first time, for them this is very important. So we can spend more time on this. Yes, Sinjini, please.
From where we are coming to this point that energy is limited, means we are more into conserve the energy. From there we are getting that point that energy is limited.
We are getting tired, we are experienced. This is absolutely experiential. This is not assumptuous thing. Actually everybody, so it started with the question that is there anyone who doesn't sense tiredness? There was argument and debate on the thresholds, but everybody came to an agreement that yes, there is a tiredness that I experience. So from the tiredness to the conservation. Tiredness means the energy is limited. And if it is limited, then it is structured to conserve. It needs to be conserved, and it is, yeah.
We cannot enhance the energy like eating the fruits or natural food which we are designed to have?
Yes. So now from where the energy comes, if that is the question, and we lead ourselves into the debate of the source of energy, then it will be a kind of a stretched debate from both the parties. One party will claim that the energy is final from the zygote to the death. For an existence, one party, one fraternity will claim and bring a lot of scientific conclusions according to their understanding. And there will be a counter argument that we get energy from outside. That also will bring a lot of scientific argument. But end of the day, it will not take us any conclusive aspect of a source of energy. But what can be understood through observation is the tiredness and the limitedness of energy. Irrespective of the source of energy, we have limited energy every moment. So we are starting the conversation with that angle. Every moment energy is limited, whatsoever the source may be. Are you able to comprehend this, Sanjini?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
if the source is external, say we're eating fruits to get energy in, right?
We don't know. We cannot conclude that eating fruits will give us energy or it just brings the substance. Substance is very much evident. The matter is very much evident, but whether it is an interplay of energy, because this interplay of energy is incomprehensible. It cannot be concluded this way, that where we conclude that we get energy from fruits. Because digesting food also needs energy that must be there within the body before. So then from where this energy comes? Before eating food, from where the energy comes? So there could be a lot of argument on this, and it is a useless argument because we are not going anywhere. We are trying to understand the connection between energy and total existence. So we are not trying to win a war of proving of the source of energy, because in this universe overall the energy is limited and conserved. This is also a fact. If the energy is not conserved and limited, then it will be explosion everywhere.
Right. So not going into the argument of but the response of my body or me, if I eat, I know one thing from my experience. If I eat heavy food, I feel tired. If I eat light food, I feel more energetic.
Yes.
That is the response that I
get. The
get.
digestion time can be observed. What we can observe is the digestion time. Digestion time of any food can be observed, and we can sense the respective enthusiasm and tiredness. If the digestion time is more, then there will be a tiredness. You see?
But what I think what Manisha also means is that immediately also within like the digestion time, we can we are figuring by the time it takes for me to start feeling hungry again. Yeah, that's how we are interpreting the digestion time. But I think what you also mean is that immediately after eating, within the next few minutes or hour, within the hour,
that can be also
sensing lightness, or one is sensing heaviness in the body.
So the energy
digestion starts from seeing of the food. Also, the body starts preparing for digestion. So the process starts. Right. So there are a few seconds left.
Okay. The other thing which also I was wondering is that even if we say that we are getting the energy from what we are eating, it is not that we get unlimited energy. We can only get it to a certain extent. So that says that there is some level of limited energy, because it is
Yeah,
not
so
that
unwise spend of energy can never be justified. The moral of the story, we can say. Unwanted depletion of energy cannot be. So let's rejoin with the same link with the 5 minutes of silence. Thank you.